Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om. Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of darkness, and bestower of immortality. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 2, verse number 38. In this chapter, the entire teachings of the Gita are given in a quintessence form, gives you a whole plan, and then elaborates. That's the style of Indian scriptures. We study Raja Yoga. The very first chapter gives you the samadhi, the highest. And then how to get to the highest, go into other chapters. It follows a simple psychology. Time is short. The teachings that are highest must be given first. And then details will come gradually. A farmer must sow his seeds to the best fertile land he has first. Then he should go on working for the barren ones. Now in 38th verse, Sukha dukhe same kritva labha labho jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yujyasva naivam papamavapsyasi. Maintaining a balanced mind in pleasure and pain, in gain and loss, in victory and defeat. Engage yourself in battle. Thus you will not incur sin. Certain points we have already discussed with you. Life is a battle, and every soul is a Kshatriya. Kshatriya is a warrior. Should not start looking for to which class do I belong. Because from traditional point of view, you have classes like Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. I'm not going into details. But here is all this writing is highly allegorical. If you are a real warrior, you bring upliftment in the three aspects of your relative consciousness. Kshatriya, term, protecting, putting an umbrella, uplifting. Tra relates to the three triad, seer, seen and sight. Seer means subject. Your becoming a yogi and becoming a spiritual person has threefold expression. Firstly, you change within yourself, because you are not what you think you are. Try to discover you are beyond the range of your own thoughts, beyond the limits of all your imaginations. So it's a fascinating research. So that's, as you begin to discover yourself, you are advancing. You are not the same irritable person, same shaking person. Your quality is developing within you. Next, the world around you. Every individual has a great contribution to give to the world. Just like in a forest, every tree contributes to the forest. If the tree brings out blossoms that are good with fragrance, all the other trees, they enjoy it. And the whole forest seems to be uplifted. Upliftment of any individual has its indispensable, rather unmistakable characteristic, and that is uplifting the world around. If you are uplifting yourself and looking at a world that is not boring for you, but a world that brings out God behind, God's plan, the miracles of God's grace. Therefore, the interacting experience between you and the world, your mind and senses bring out a lot of pleasure, pain, various experiences day after day. You do not develop a degrading view of your experiences. All this will pass away. Even this will pass away. But not with a miserable expectation to pass away. No, all clouds will pass away. The sun shines. All darkness will pass away. The light will manifest. All clouds will pass away. The sky will be ever the same. That type. If you have developed that type of attitude within your heart, you are a Kshatriya, a warrior dedicated to the upliftment of these three. And that's the reality of every soul, whether you like it or not. You are all militarized. You have to fight the battle. Not be a coward. Be a hero. Now, what are the characteristics of being a hero? What are the qualities that you must develop? Maintaining a balanced mind in pleasure and in pain. Prosperity and adversity. Positive and negative situations continue in life. When there is pleasure, mind becomes elated. Elation becomes a big trouble. Imagine people who have suddenly prospered. What do? Immediately invite so many people. Find some alcohols. And there is a lot of rejoicing. The pleasure, what people call fortune, prosperity, that has an impact on a mind not in a positive way, makes your mind distracted, full of fluff. And adversity makes your mind shrink. So you are subjecting your mind to shrinking and ballooning itself. Fluffing up and shrinking. Mind does not stay in a healthy way. If you are a real fighter in life, first thing is to focus on health of your body, health of your mind. For body's sake, practice yoga exercises. Learn the art of pranayama, do various things needed. Mental health, that's great purpose of your existence. So how to handle prosperity in a spiritual way? And how to handle adversity in a spiritual way? That art one has to learn. The most important part to understand that both are passing phenomena. And both are meant to do good to your soul. Because in divine plan there is nothing that you experience is sheer wastage. Everything has its purpose. If you face your adversity in a profound way, you become stronger than before. All great teachings people give to the masses, they have learned during adversity. So therefore, a simple saying, दुख में सुमिरन सब करे, सुख में करे न कोई. जो सुख में सुमिरन करे तो दुख काहे को होए. When there is misery, mind begins to beg for relief. You turn to God, even though in healthy state you denied God's existence and proud of saying, I am a non-believer. But when misery comes, mind turns to God. Dukh mein sumiran sab kare. But try to reverse that process. Learn the art of turning your mind to God when there is pleasant situation. Each time situation improves and becomes positive, you become inspired. Today I'm going to do more meditation. Today I'm going to do more japa. Today I will discover the strength of prayer. Instead of saying, today I will invite so many noisy people. Drink up a lot of alcohol. And waste all my time. So prosperity now becomes very spiritual. And adversity comes. Firstly, you must realize you do not feel contradicted. Think if you were to live perpetual day or perpetual night, life will become miserable. So every day terminates with the night. Night terminates with the day. You enjoy both. During the day, you have all your activity. During the night, you have repose. Day and night are beneficial to everyone. Likewise, adversity and prosperity both are beneficial, enriching. That point should enter deep within the heart. And your goal is to attain that state where adversity and prosperity both are transcended. Samatva. Your mind is not looking for a prosperous state or an adverse state. Mind is looking for being beyond state of absolute serenity. Mind is looking for becoming the sky. No matter whatever may be the nature of clouds. Clouds can be silvery, full of prosperity, or clouds can be negative, noisy and dark and so forth. The sky remains just the same. With the same attitude to both. To black clouds, the sky has opened its arms. And to silvery clouds, it is the sky that gives a space to them. Figurative. But that potentiality lies in every soul. If you are highly advanced in a spiritual way, you are not looking for stability in the realm of the mind, because the mind cannot be stable. In the morning you are joyous, by the evening you get bored. If you are depending upon your mind for your inner rest, that mind will never give you that. But if you were to discover you are not defined by your mind, you are the sustainer, the support of the mind. Mind moves like a cloud. You are like the sky. In order to gain that insight and to ascend the ladder of wisdom, to reach that, simple points, go on watching your mind and keep that ideal, samatva, keeping the mind in a state of serenity, equanimity. Equanimity in pleasure and in pain, in gain and in loss, in victory and in defeat. Thus should you engage yourself in battle, the battle of sadhana. By doing so, you will not incur sin. You will not enter into the world of karma. Sin term has been used in form of limitation. Bhava chakra, entering into the world of birth and death. That's sin. To be free of the cycle of birth and death, that's real virtue. That's real dharma. Yato dharmas tato jaya. Where there is dharma, there is victory. Summary of this teaching is, be nirdvandva. Be free of pairs of opposites. Pairs of opposites. Pleasure, pain, gain, loss, victory, defeat, praise, censure. This pair remains always close to each other. Not to be affected, and continue to perform your duties without phalasa, without attachment to fruit of karma. Every action has two aspects. From the point of view of one who is performing the action, you are performing the action for a certain result. And if the result will not come, you will become completely discouraged. That's called phala sakti. If someone says you are going to attain, the result is coming, it's right in the post. You become very excited, oh, wonderful. But if a farmer is sowing seeds, and why are you doing that? Have you not heard the weather forecast? It's not going to rain for 6 months. I'm making it up. What should the farmer do? On the basis of what forecast he has heard, should he stop? So the idea is that first to recognize actions flow like river. For any reason, stopping involvement in action is a great foolishness, dullness. Because now you are leading yourself to a stagnation. A river must flow on. A stagnant river will become polluted. Your body should flow on through exercises, movements. Your mind should flow on through thoughts, imaginations, choices you make, sankalpas and vikalpas. Your intellect should flow on. Give exercises to your intellect for understanding profound things and for receiving a joy of that understanding. Your ego should flow on, becoming more and more sattvic, purified. So therefore, actions continue. But what you should not allow to exist is phalasakti, attachment to the fruit of action. Because while action goes on flowing, ego goes on interrupting the joy of life. by creating expectation with asakti. All this may give you also certain confusion. The confusion is, shouldn't a person, a student studying hard, shouldn't the student have the imagination that he is going to pass and people will recognize his success? He should. But while doing that, he should also understand that is not the goal. The goal is not just to pass the examination. The goal is to have well-studied subjects. If the goal is only to pass the examination, you can use tricks. Find out what questions are coming into the examination. Bribe someone. And answer them. And you can secure very high position. I'm not advising that. That's called sakamya. Because we are led by desire. On the other hand, you develop an internal sattvic pride, self-confidence. I'm going to. That will require, therefore, your tremendous attention on doing the duty the best way you can, and keeping the mind open to whatever may be the consequences. On the other hand, the idea of consequences is positive in your mind. Nothing negative can happen if you are doing your duties well. Only things will not happen the way you are expecting. For that you should thank God. Otherwise, if things were to happen exactly as people expect, there will be no growth. A child will always remain a child, doesn't want to lose the toys. Because things happen beyond your ego's expectations, and you need to become adjusted to it joyously. This is what I wanted, but my mummy wants something else. And she knows better. With that type of attitude, we advance in life. Esha te bhita sankhye buddhir yoge tvimam shrinu buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. O Partha, that's Arjuna's name. This is the wisdom of Sankhya, which I have given to you. Sankhya is same as Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta, the non-duality of the self. Now listen to the wisdom of yoga. Yoga, and these two terms come together, Sankhya and yoga. Then in that context, Sankhya means theoretical knowledge. Knowledge that you have gathered through your intellect. And yoga means putting that into practice. Theory and practice. And both are important. Theory has to come first. Mind has to have a clear understanding. Not all of it, but to the extent you understand, start putting it into practice. You are studying mantra yoga, and then you are studying the advantages of mantra and power of mantra. Having completed one book, you get another book about it. You go after a website, looking for book after book on the power of mantra. You are going after theory. Do both. Go after theory. Always understand. Putting theory into practice. An ounce of practice is better than tons of theory. So that's the relationship between theory and practice. Sankhya Buddhi, two types of attitude has to develop. One is attitude according for theoretical understanding. What are those points that your intellect must grasp? First point, the soul within you is eternal, immortal. Always I have repeated the 3 points brought from Ramayana. Rama asks Hanuman, how am I related? Hanuman says, Deh buddhya tu daso. To the extent I am identified with the body, I am a slave, you are the master. To the extent I am a soul, you are like the sun and I am a ray. And ultimately, a ray is and the sun are just the same. I and you are both the same. This mind's movement towards the understanding that the I am the self, Aham Brahma, I am eternal. That's the highest reverberating message that must keep your mind occupied in a joyous way. Eternity of the soul. Another point, I am not the doer. In this state of ignorance, when you are identified with the body-mind complex, your mind is always holding a burden of karma. Memories of the past, things I should not have done, things I should have done, things I should not have done in my previous births that are now coming as obstacles in my life. I can go on giving you more and more. But that type of thinking, that should move away. Because you are not dependent upon action, karma, and its a result. The sky is not dependent upon clouds. Ocean is not dependent upon waves. The screen is not dependent upon projections in a cinema show. Deep down, you are not depending upon the world. Just like you see a whole dream world. And while dreaming, everything seems so real. When you wake up, entire dream world has gone away. You were not depending upon the dream. Your goal is to get out of it. Put it in a mystic way, your goal is to chew up the dream world. Swallow. Don't get confused, these are just words. Similarly, your goal is to swallow up this world of trial. Come to that level of understanding where you are not the body, you are not the mind. You are the reality behind the entire world process. The world process created by Maya, the magical power of God. And you have stepped beyond the magic pull. That's your goal. Therefore, you start asserting, even though you have not reached that, and it will take time, asserting deep down, no karma. So neither should you go on patting yourself, how many good karmas have I done? Nor should you distress yourself, how many bad karmas have I done? This again doesn't mean that you do not learn lessons. From negative karmas you have learned lessons, not to repeat them. From good karmas you have learned lessons to do more and more in that direction. But when you begin to regret, regretting is a wastage of time. You should not stop the flow of life. And why? Because deep down you are not defined by karmas. If you are dreaming, you are going to walk out of the dream world. Your mind should not be focused on anything that pertains to the dream world. Gain, loss, pleasure, pain. Nothing of the dream world. Therefore, at deepest level, and this you are reminded day by day when you go to sleep. In sleep state, you are not thinking of, did I live my day well? Did I do certain things? I should have done better. I should have said better things. We should have texted more. Nothing of the sort. You are stripped of all. That's what you are. That sense of immense inner calm, that must be there, shining like a star in your inner horizon. And a sense of indivisibility, imperishability. I will not be destroyed. I will not be broken down. That's Atma Chintan, Atma Vichar. Understanding and affirming the nature of the self. That's the highlight of Sankhya Buddhi. Next, I am not the body. Body is Deha, Dehalo. Deha, Sanskrit word Deha means Dahyate, it's always on fire. Body is bound to be consumed. Simple fact. Body is, of all things that decay and disintegrate, body goes faster. To always view yourself, I am the body. That I am the body should be on the surface level. It should not occupy your heart. Because even before your very eyes, your body has undergone big changes. That body you are not. And therefore, a deeper insight, may I not perpetuate the body type existence, coming from body to body to body. I am not the body. May I make this residence the final residence in the body. And likewise, therefore, develop same attitude towards other people. They are not bodies. The spirit shines in them. So no matter how do they, whichever manner they may appear, you must know that they are just like you. You have been in all situations, bad and good, inspired and non-inspired. Give the same chance to everybody. Why do you become so distressed or upset seeing others doing wrong? And the insight that others are also souls like you. They are all trying hard. And therefore your relation to others is not on the basis of body. Sanskrit literature uses two words, sansarga and samparka. Sansarga is coming close to the body physically. Sampark, come close to the heart. Whatever may be the practical reality for the physical body, you can come close or whatever. But the real intention is heart must receive an impact. Union of the heart, expansion of the heart, understanding, good-heartedness, that should develop. If that is developing, that is called sampark. You are coming in touch with people. Otherwise, you can touch people, but you have no real touch at all. So if you are developing that Sankhya Buddhi, that attitude develops, I am not the body. Likewise, others are not the bodies. Soul is operating through people. That soul of soul, Brahman, that I am, is the reality in every heart. So mind must be always aware that the body you are not. Bodily existence is momentary, transient, extremely transient. Third point, therefore, Swadharma must be pursued. Three things are important in Sankhya Buddhi. The eternity of the soul, non-doership, I am beyond, I am eternal. Transience of the physical body, and importance of Swadharma, doing your duties, no matter what. These three, when they stay in your mind in the form of theory, then it's called Sankhya Buddhi. When you begin to practice them, then it's called Yoga Buddhi. Sankhya and Yoga, theory and practice. So if these theories are applied in your daily life, the goal is the soul will become free from the fetters of karma. Deha vikramanashosti pratyavayo na vidyate swarvamapyaspyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. On this path, no effort is ever rendered void, nor is there a risk of a negative result. Even a small measure of this dharma protects a person from the great fear of the world process. Now, more insight is being given that if you fight the battle of life, the way Gita is asking you to do, shouldn't you have the idea of getting into a risk, fighting the battle and just being shot down without any achievement? Here's a statement. No effort is ever rendered void. If you have adopted the path of integral yoga and your mind has developed the Sankhya Buddhi, working upon I am the eternal, I am not the body, and Swadharma, doing my duty, is my best joy. Once you are allowing these to enter, there will be no negative result. You will be enriched day by day. Your movement can be slow, depending upon how intense and how dynamic you are. But you will continue to move forward. This point is brought out in Bhagavad Puran. One great sage tells King Janaka, Yanasthaya naro rajan na pramadhyet karihichit yavan nimilyava netre naskhalet na patediha. This is such a path. If one were to run on this path with eyes closed, he will not be hurt. He will not fall. He will not become a prey to pramada. Pramada means procrastination. But subtler meaning is he will not become a prey to boredom. You will not view your life as a repeat of a boring cycle from morning till night. If this spirit enters, you must know that's your success. Success in spirituality is not having a good dream. That may be also to some extent. To have a sense of levitation or some intuitive type of thing. If somebody comes and you know what the person has eaten. I'm making a joke. I'm not underestimating so many things people can gain. But real success lies, you're enjoying your life, having a purpose in your life, shining before your mind. And you are not losing whether you encounter pain or pleasure. You are being sucked up. Big magnet God, and you are a little iron piece. And every movement towards that divine is enriching you in a profound way. And you have no other choice, and you don't want any other choice. That's the spiritual life. It doesn't depend upon how long do you sit for meditation. How many malas have you repeated? All that is important as a kindergarten discipline. But from a broader point of view, your life itself becomes a stream flowing towards God. And it flows. Sometimes close your eyes, sometimes runs. Vyavasayatmika buddhi rekeha kurunandana bahushakaya nantascha buddhyo vyavasayinam. O delighter of the race of Kuru. That means Arjuna, which means every aspirant. Delighter of the race of humanity. Look at anybody and say that. Everybody delights. That's the soul's potentiality. You do not come to delight only your mother or father. You delight all humanity. The intellect that ascertains the nature of the self is one-pointed, but the thoughts of one who desires the fruits of karma are many-branched and endless. Here, subtle point about live your life with one-pointed vision, the goal to be realized. That's the target. This brought out in Mahabharata in a parable. The Dronacharya sets up a target on a tree. There's a bird on a tree. And he asks his students to shoot the target. But students come and he asks questions. What are you seeing? And the student like Duryodhana says, I'm seeing everything, Guru. I have such mental concentration. I see you. I see your slippers. I see where you Yudhishthira and others are seated. I see the whole tree. See the bird. Dronacharya, you are not qualified. Similarly, others come and they go on saying, I see this. Until Arjuna comes and he asks, what do you see? Do you see me? No. Do you see your brothers? No. Do you see the tree? No. Do you see the branch? No. Do you see the bird? No. I see the eye. And then the Guru says, shoot your target. And he shoots the target. It hits the target. The mystical meaning behind it. That's what everyone has come into the world. how many things you want to attain in your life? What is your goal? The bright mind say, oh, everything is my goal. I want to be everywhere in the world, eat every type of food, have all types of enjoyment. I see everything from North Pole to South Pole. That response from the guru, not qualified. What is then being qualified? All these pleasures of the senses, all things that can be experienced by your senses, that's my mind is not focused on that. All things that you experience through your ego, through your limited intellect, I don't see anything of that as my target. Target is attainment of self-realization. The self, the absolute reality underlying the layers of illusion. That's the target. That's called Vyavasatmika Buddhi, the intellect that has come to discern the existence of the absolute self as the only reality. And therefore your life is lived by integral yoga with that target to be hit. And you are going to do it. And with this I conclude. Om Shanti.